Welcome to your reset with Christiane Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the body-mind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello, I'm Christiane Piano, and welcome back to your Reset Reflections. It's good to be here with you again. Last week we spoke directly to the profound weight of the a lot, that constant pressure that leads to energetic closure and the impulse to brace against the chaos of life. We asked, how do we navigate the a lot without losing ourselves to the experience? Today we expand upon that foundation. We turn our attention toward a powerful mechanism, the glimmer, that gently guides us back to ourselves, helping us feel settled and deeply present in the moment, even amidst the challenges of daily life. To illustrate the profound power of these micro moments, I'd like to share what unfolded for me this past week, right here in the energy of my new, still unfolding home. The energy I was pouring into this endeavor was immense. In the midst of unpacking boxes and setting up a new life, that beautiful, chaotic, a lot of moving, I realized I had fallen into overdrive. My focus had become so intensely narrow, so task-oriented, that I completely forgot to take the pause. The result was immediate and predictable. My temper grew short. I was more reactive, and I felt utterly disconnected from the wisdom of my own body. That is the internal cost of forgetting the self-support we need during great upheaval. As the awareness of this state of contraction arose within me, a subtle knowing surfaced. I recognized the signal from my system. I knew I needed to step away from the creation inside the home, from the walls and the boxes, and go explore outside, to invite my awareness into a new sensory field. So deliberately I put down the task, paused, and stepped out. As I walked, I began to sense a profound shift, the sun on my skin, the sight of the bright blue sky, the vibrant fall leaves, the surrounding vineyards, and that new skyline of peaks and valleys. Suddenly, new scents filled the air. My breath naturally deepened. The micro-tensions began to release throughout my whole body-mind. I felt a sense of grounding in this new reality, in what now is. Then I came to a spot where the ground was covered in dried leaves. As I heard the shuffling and crackling sound of my feet touching them, I was instantly pulled back to a childhood memory, playing in the leaves with my brothers. In that simple, spontaneous moment, that flash of sensory pleasure and connection to the past, a wave of joy and inner contentment swept through me. It was a complete, unexpected reset. That tiny, beautiful moment, that flash of sensory pleasure and memory, provided a powerful felt break from the chaos. This is what inspired this episode. This is a glimmer. And it is the power of this immediate sensory shift that brings us to a profound ancient truth. The saying goes, we don't see things as they are, but as we are. If we are operating in overdrive, our visual field is narrow, our breath is shallow, and our jaw may be tight. We only see the tasks, the chaos, and the pressure. But what happens when we choose to interrupt that overdrive and look for the small moment that delivers a much-needed reminder? When we choose to pause and shift our attention, we counteract the mind's natural tendency to focus on the problems and the knots. We reclaim our awareness to focus on all the beauty that is, whether that's the feeling of warm water running over your hands, the sound of your own quiet exhale, or the way the morning light lands on a simple object. I invite you to pause and consider this. Where in your daily grind are you overlooking the small, life-giving moments that are waiting to support your reset? To understand the power of a glimmer, we must first acknowledge its opposite, the trigger. This episode is built upon the brilliant work of licensed clinical social worker Deb Dana, who specializes in complex trauma and coined the term glimmers. Triggers and glimmers are opposite cues for your nervous system. Triggers. These are cues, a sound, a smell, a memory, or even a person that signal danger or past unresolved trauma. They activate your sympathetic nervous system, your stress response, sending you into fight, flight, or freeze. This is happening unconsciously. This is the mechanism that fuels the bracing and energetic closure that we spoke about last week. When we are triggered, we feel agitation, fear, or a wave of anxiety. Our body tenses, ready for threat. Glimmers, on the other hand, are the beautiful tiny micro moments of ease, joy, or connection. They activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your relaxation response. This is the internal anchor you are always seeking. When you consciously notice and savor a glimmer, your system releases microtensions and moves toward calm, connection, and a feeling of grounded ease. This is the small moment's reminder that you are alive, you are here, and life is flowing beyond the confines of your own task list. This is the subtle mechanism we lose sight of when the mind defaults to management mode, when we are consumed by the drive for control, the to-do list, and the weight of obligation. We become blind to the simple beauty unfolding all around us. The intentional invitation is to be present enough to notice the glimmer when it unfolds and savor the immediate shift it creates, finding the opportunity to savor life, moment by moment. Glimmers are not grand experiences. They are simple, accessible moments. They are the smell of your morning coffee, the purring of your pet, a genuine smile from a stranger, or the feel of warm sun on your skin. That moment I experienced when the sound of leaves brought me joy. This is where the wisdom of the body-mind comes into play. If we are constantly reacting to triggers, we are living in the past or the future. If we are actively looking for and soaking in glimmers, we are anchored fully in the present moment. The shift is from focusing on the resistance of the knot, the bracing, to embracing the anchor of openness. As the famed psychologist and author Carl Jung noted, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. This practice of finding glimmers is a quiet, gentle way to fully accept your present self, offering you safety rather than judgment. Now, before we dive deeper into the practice of noticing glimmers, I feel it's essential to address a pervasive misconception. There's a tendency in the wellness space today to believe that a regulated nervous system means that a body is quiet, steady, easy, and polite, that we should strive to be calm all the time, never feeling or expressing too much. This belief is not only outdated, but can be deeply unsupportive. You see, our bodies are magnificent adaptive instruments. They need to shake, cry, rage, tremble, shut down, and erupt when the situation calls for it. Allowing for all experiences to be held and felt is fundamental to body-mind well-being. If we do not allow ourselves to process and digest grief, various levels of trauma, illness, difference, and intensity, that impacts the level of knots in the body-mind, preventing life from truly flowing. A regulated nervous system is not necessarily a calm nervous system. Regulation means the body knows how to move fluidly through all states. It rises, it falls, it contracts, it expands, it heats up, it cools down, it shakes, it softens. It is fluid, adaptive, resilient, and most importantly, alive. Calm is only one of many states. It is not the ultimate goal. When we tell ourselves or others to stay regulated, the hidden message often becomes, make yourself easier for the world to handle. That is an old script and will not support genuine body-mind well-being. Telling someone experiencing pain, panic, grief, or overwhelm to calm down is simply not supportive. Their body is actually doing something intelligent, a necessary act of protection. A trembling body is not malfunctioning. A crying body is not failing. A shutdown body is not weak. Telling a body to calm down in a moment of overwhelm is like telling it to stop bleeding. It cannot. It is responding. Forcing oneself into any state contributes to a continuation of self-abandonment. Body-mind well-being does not ask you to be calm. It invites you to meet yourself as you are, to feel what is present, not just what is deemed acceptable. It invites you to shift away from performing and to begin listening to the profound wisdom of your own experience. Well-being is never about controlling your emotions. It is about being intimate with your experience. A body that trembles or cries or contracts or roars is not broken. It is honest, it is adaptive, it is resilient, it is alive. Now, with this understanding of body-mind well-being, where the goal is not stillness all the time, but resilient fluidity, we can return to the practice of glimmers. The practice of finding glimmers is a direct, somatic way to retrain your nervous system toward responsive fluidity and ease, not forced calm. It is the practice of intentional guidance, ensuring your system knows how to return to a state of openness after it contracts. Think of it as actively building a positive neural pathway. If you are operating in overdrive, your brain has defaulted to a rut. It is focused on efficiency and stress management. To break that pattern, you need an intentional interrupt. This practice requires body mindfulness, an active, sensory, and embodied shift in focus. When you feel yourself getting swept up in the daily grind, the task list, or the accumulated knots of tension, commit to one simple, immediate interruption. Savoring the sensory. Here's how we move from bracing to openness using glimmers. Number 1, be intentional. The pause. Don't wait until you're at the breaking point. This practice begins with conscious self-support. Make the deliberate choice to interrupt your momentum at least twice a day. This is the act of giving yourself permission to disrupt the familiar pattern and choose presence over perpetual motion. Number 2, focus on the senses, your body-mind anchor. Consciously shift your focus to one of your senses. Sight, look at the color of the sky, or see the texture of the wood on your desk. Sound, Listen to the birds or the simple sound of your own breath or the ocean waves. Taste or smell. Savor the taste of your favorite tea or the scent of a flower. Touch. Feel the fabric of your clothing, the solid grounding of your feet on the floor, or the warmth of a hug. Number 3, acknowledge and receive. When you find a glimmer, don't rush past it. Take a moment, acknowledge the feeling, and allow yourself to fully receive it. This is crucial. When I heard the crackling leaves, I didn't just hear the sound. I felt the wave of joy sweep through me. This receiving allows the gentle, positive energy to settle deeply within your entire body-mind system. Number 4, seek the nourishing space. As I was personally reminded this past week, sometimes we need to change our physical environment to shift our internal state. This requires intentional curation of your surroundings. Establish body-mind boundaries around digital time. Consciously seek out the restorative qualities of nature. And choose to spend time in spaces and with people that actively replenish your energy. Glimmers are the counterpoint to contraction because they allow us to soften and access the inherent beauty of what is present, even when the circumstances are chaotic. They are one of the direct routes to releasing the accumulated knots in the body-mind, supporting fluid, flexibility, and resilience. Deb Dana, who gifted us this concept, says, glimmers are the small moments when the nervous system registers safety. We need to intentionally find them to begin to shape our system in very gentle ways. This reminds us that resilience is built not through a single grand gesture, but through countless small moments of conscious noticing. The beauty of the glimmer practice is that it is one of the purest forms of embodied engagement. It is the practice of intentionally noticing the experiences that support your body-mind well-being. By consciously taking a moment, whether it's getting on your mat for 3 focused breaths, savoring a meal with all your senses, or simply asking for a hug and feeling the warmth and kindness, you are stating, I can soften and be here now. Your focus this week, and really for the rest of your life, is not to avoid triggers, but to increase your awareness of glimmers. Because even if you tried, you can't avoid triggers. They're simply part of the human experience. Commit to giving more space to soaking in being. Start small. Perhaps start right now. What might you allow yourself to simply notice in this very moment? Perhaps pause the recording and just take a moment to breathe and look around you. This depth of work, this intentional somatic process of unwinding tension and deepening your internal capacity for calm and resilience is the foundation of all the body-mind well-being opportunities I offer. If you are feeling the invitation to move beyond simply noticing, to truly strengthening your internal anchor, I encourage you to explore the variety of services available, from one-to-one body-mind maturation work to the supportive tools in the Your Reset Body-Mind Wellbeing Video On Demand Resource Center. The resources are designed to meet you where you are on your journey toward greater self-support and increased presence. You can find all the details on how to begin your next step with me on my website, the link for which is in today's show notes. If this episode resonated with you, I would be grateful if you would share it with a friend, or simply like and follow Your Reset Reflections wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you for allowing me to share this reflection with you today. May your week be filled with intentional pauses and moments of micro-joy. I look forward to connecting with you again next week on Your Reset Reflections. If you are interested in working with me on any level of body-mind well-being, whether it be through individual body-mind maturation work sessions, perhaps participating in a series, individual privates, or through my video-on-demand services, if you have questions, if you would like to engage on any level, feel free to schedule a free 15-minute consult in the appointment section, www.christianepiano.com, or email me directly at growth@christianepiano.com.